Hello there, welcome to Benzie's YouTube channel. My name is Abby from KatPaperLove. I am one of the makers from their design team, and I'm so excited to be here with another tutorial for you all. Today we are going to be making a party hat. August is my birthday month, and I'm so excited to be celebrating with you all. So let's go ahead and go over all the materials that you're going to be needing. Also, make sure to look at the description of the video. There will be the materials for you and the links for it on the Benzie channel, along with the link for the template that I use, which is from firstpalette.com. So make sure that you take a look at that and you can print it out for yourself so you can follow along. Go ahead and set that off to the side for now. The palettes that I'm using from the Benzie website is the Confetti palette here on my left and the Pixie palette on my right, along with this glitter felt that you can find the links for down below in the description of the video. You will also be needing some glue. I have linked below some glue from Benzie's website. The one I'm using is Fabrifix by Beacon. This is just to adhere some of your items before you're sewing. And then I'm going to go ahead and show you that you're also going to need some elastic. And the elastic, honestly, a lot of us might have this in our crafty supplies right now due to if you were making masks. So I have a whole bunch. I'll be using that for the elastic for my party hat. You're also going to need a pen to trace out your template. You're going to need some scissors to cut out your template, and of course your other scissors for your fabric. You know, you have to have separate scissors for those items. And then that's pretty much all you're going to need. Oh, and some dyes. I have these already in my supplies. I will link down below if Benzie has any star dyes, so you can cut those out, or you can trace them out with a template as well if you do not have a die cutting machine. So definitely you can work around that, or whatever particular design that you want to do. So you can definitely customize this and just really make it your own. So let's go ahead and get started. You're going to start off by cutting out your template and making sure that it's ready to go. That way we can trace it out of the felt that we decide to choose. Go ahead and set that off to the side for now. It's ready to use. We're going to go ahead and pick our felt. So you want to make sure that you pick a good size that the template fits in. The 9x12s work perfectly fine. You don't need the larger size felt. I wasn't sure how large I was going to go with my party hat, so I had the larger pieces as well, the 12x18s, but the 9x12s will be perfectly fine. So I'm going to choose my base. I decided to go with the mint color, and I'm going with 2 pieces of felt. You want 2 pieces of felt in order to create that structure and that stability. So if you just went with one, it might be too flimsy. You could do interfacing. That might help to create a little bit more stability, but as you can see with the 12x18, you can fit 2 on here, so you can definitely go with the 12x18 if you're going to do multiple party hats. I'm going to go ahead and trace that out with my pen, and then we're going to cut that out. Again, I'm cutting 2 pieces at a time. And I love doing this because it makes sure that both pieces are exactly the same size, the same cut, and I don't have to worry about, you know, making sure that I have to trim any edges. So here we go, it's ready to go. I'm going to set that off to the side, and now I'm going to pick my other colors that I'm going to create my pattern from. I already know that for sure I want to have some glittered stars in order to create that pop. So I'm going to set that off to the side, and now I'm going to choose the colors that I want on here. I do end up changing my mind down the road, and you will see. So just play around with it, you know, pick your colors, and then if you decide to change your mind, you're like, oh no, this isn't exactly what I was going for, you know, it's perfectly fine. Play around with it until you're perfectly happy. You can definitely, like I mentioned earlier, customize this. So if you want it to be a little bit more pastel-y, you can do that. Or if you want it to be like themed for a child, like, you know, those perfect little cake smash pictures or videos, you can customize this and make it a little bit more you know, darker, like maybe some dinosaurs. Or if you want it to be a little bit more princessy, you know, it's up to you on how you want these colors to be. Now I'm choosing the sizing of the stars that I want on here. So I decided that it would look really cute to have two different sizings of stars. Again, that's just creating that contrast and, dimension. So I decided to go with these two sizes. Again, you can cut these by hand using a template. It's really, really simple, or you can create your own template, which is one of my favorite things to do. But if you have a die cut machine, it just makes it easy for you. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut out the amount of felt that I need to die cut these. And I'm going to use my machine, and I'll get back to you here in a second. Alrighty, I've gone ahead and die cut my stars. You can already see I changed my color palette. I did cut the other ones out, but I just thought they were a little too vibrant for my soft mint background, and I decided to go with something much softer. So you can definitely cut out multiple colors of different stars or whatever pattern you're going for until you're really happy with that flow and everything just kind of works well together. After you've cut out your stars, you just want to lay them out in the pattern that you're going for so it looks ready to go. You know where everything's going to lay out in. And now I'm going to cut out some little tassels here for the top out of felt. I'm going with the same colors that I went with for my stars, so that soft yellow and that soft pink. These are from the palettes that I mentioned. One is from the Confetti and the other one is from the Pixie palette. So just go with the light colors, or you can go with vibrant colors or a different color scheme. I'm going with just, matching colors, and I'm going to cut out just kind of like about 1/2 inch in width and about 3 inches in length. You can make these longer or shorter depending on what style you're wanting to go, or you can put a pom-pom at the top. It's really up to you with what your topper is going to be. I'm going with some small tassels as I thought it looked really cute and very, very soft, and it just goes really well with the overall theme that I'm doing. Now I'm folding those strips in half, and I'm going to cut them in half. So I have 2 pieces of one color and 2 pieces of the other. So 2 yellows and 2 pinks for my case. And this is just going to make it easier for me to sew this onto my party hat. Here I am laying them out and placing them where they're going to be. And I think it looks really cute. Again, I'm going with very, very short tassels, but I think it's very, very cute. Like I mentioned, going longer might be cuter as well. It's just really up to you. And that's what I love about these projects, is that it really caters to your artistic vision. Now I'm going to use my glue just in the center to adhere my stars down. This is just so that the placement is there. They're not going to move around when I sew these. So just here in the center so that my machine doesn't get all gunky. And because I have 2 pieces of felt, I'm just going to sew on the outer one so I can cover that stitching with my other piece of felt. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch this, and I will be right back. Here we go. My stars are now all stitched onto my base, and I really love the look of stitching on here. It just makes it kind of look like a quilted piece. It just makes it all more cohesive, and it gives it that soft and daintiness to it, and it's just super cute. You can definitely just glue these on here. It's going to look adorable, but if you have the skill set to sew, I highly recommend it. It just really elevates your project to a whole nother level, and it gives it that handmade touch. And then here's the back side. As you can see, I didn't bother to cut those threads. We're just going to sew these 2 pieces together just like that. Voila, like magic. I've sewed my 2 pieces together, and it's just going to give it, again, that stability. Now I'm going to go ahead and adhere my tassels on there so that the placement is there. In hindsight, I would have not glued these like this. I would have done it the other way, where it was facing the outside, so that when I flip this around, it wouldn't have been as tricky. So I would have kind of like done them upside down on the outside. They would have been absolutely fine when I did my stitching. Now for the elastic, you want to make sure that you measure this against your subject. So whoever's going to be wearing this party hat, you want to measure it from like underneath the chin up to a little bit past the ears. So for me, it ends up being about 13 inches. So I'm going to break out the ruler here for you so you can see. So it's going to be 12 inches, but you want to allow a 1/2 inch on each side. This is just going to be so that you can sew it onto your party hat. So you see, For an adult, I'm an adult woman. It is about 13 inches. For a small child, you definitely want to measure that against your subject. So we have that ready to go. I'm going to set this off to the side as I'm going to sew my party hat here inside out. So here I'm showing you how I'm going to sew this. So basically you're going to sew this inside out. You're going to fold it in half, and you also want to sew your tassels. Again, if I had done these upside down on facing the outer edge, it would have been a lot easier. But yes, so I went ahead and did my sewing. As you can see, it's just folded in half, kind of like a quesadilla. I had to stuff my tassels in here. So now I'm flipping it inside out, and I'm just going to, push that out. I also use a wooden dowel to help me, crisp all the edges, crisp all those little sewn edges, and it just looks really, really cute. I would recommend that you create larger tassels. I think they would have looked a lot cuter. It does look really cute with the small, little tassels here at the top, but having some larger ones, I think would have fit the sizing of this party hat a little bit better. So, play around with it, move your tassels around, or if you go with a pom-pom, it's all up to you on how your design's going to be. I'm just working it around here, making sure that everything is nice and crisp, and, fixing up my stars a little bit, because if you're folding, fabric, you just want to play around with it and make sure that it looks really cute. So I'm going to set that here off to the side, and now we're going to sew the elastic on the edges of our party hat. What I do is I put the seam towards the back and I fold it in half again, so that way I know where the edges are for this party hat and which way I want it to face. I of course want the seam part to be towards the back of the head. So sew these here on the edge, and that's it. That's the final step for your party hat. I think it looks really, really cute. It's the elastic, it's ready to go. It's a party hat that you can save for years to come, reuse, go away from the disposable paper ones. I think this is just a little bit more memorable, a little keepsake. You can definitely add something cute at the front, like a number. So if this is for birthday number 1, or if you want to add the letter, or let's say it is dinosaur theme, you add a dinosaur at the top here in the front. It's just really memorable and a cute little keepsake to have, or to reuse. And you can definitely make this for just more than, this one particular occasion, which is a birthday. You can make this for Halloween. You can Halloween this up a little bit, or you can make this for New Year's, or, all these fun things. And here I'm showing, my little model is this little plushie. I'm going to wrap it around the head here and then put it on top. And you can see just how adorable this is. So you can make it for a plushie or for a doll for your kid, or, for your pet. The options are, unlimited. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this. And thank you to Benzie for having me on their team. If you have any questions, leave them down below in the comments and we'll be happy to answer them. I hope you have a great time. And above all, stay crafty, everyone. Bye.
Happy birthday to you.